Hi, I'm Lori Betts. Welcome to Golden Years. We are on site of Brunswick Area Historical Society. Come on back and we're going to show you what is happening and give you updates.
A child's drawing, an American flag, combat boots, flowers. Thousands of mementos like these are left at the Vietnam Memorial Wall every year. Silent messages that say, you are not forgotten. The Education Center at the wall will preserve and share the photos, mementos, and memories of veterans so their stories and sacrifice will never be forgotten. Call or click now. Help us build it.
Welcome back. My guest is Mamie Bruno from the Historical Society, and you have been involved for many years.
Yes, I have, since the city first purchased the property and for the Historical Society.
And that was back in when?
1995.
That's a couple years back.
I've watched it all be restored and brought up to usable condition.
Okay. I am holding a picture. This is the last family that owned the home.
Yes.
And who is this?
That's Peter and Mary Graining. They didn't have any children. That's their wedding picture from 1929. They were both from Germany, different areas of Germany. They met and were married in Illyria in 1929, and they purchased this farm in 1940. And Peter died in 1963, I believe it was, and Mary continued to live here, rented out the farm, and continued to live here until she died in December of 1994.
Wow. And she was still living in the house?
Still living in the house. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's some history.
It really is.
Okay, so bring us up to date. What is happening on the farm?
A year ago in April, the city, due to safety concerns, locked us out of the house. We can still use the barn, and we used the barn and some of the other outbuildings for events, a couple events last year. However, we could not have tours or have visitors in the house because they felt that it was unsafe.
And what's the history of the house? How old can they guess that the house is?
The architects have placed it about 1860, give or take 10 years either way. They dated it from the paint that was on the building. I didn't know, but I was told by the architects that paint, the formula and colors change about every 20 years. So this is paint. They have a microscope that separates it into layers, and the bottom layer was a yellow paint that would have been used about 1860.
That's interesting.
So that is the way they decided. They decided how old it was. Tax records do not tell you. It just lists value of buildings on the farm, and that could have been the barn, an outhouse, the house, whatever. And the first list of a house on the property is, I believe it's 1839, and just lists the value of a house at $100.
Oh.
So whether that's the first record, and then after that it does not list it, does not separate it.
Oh, okay. Okay, I walked through the house earlier. There's many, in my world I would call them antiques.
They are.
And everything has history. It's dated. It's who donated it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a lot of people who want something of their value. They want it to remain.
Mm-hmm.
So they just donate it to the society.
Yes, they do. They want people to view it, to see what life was like. We've tried to set up the house as a farmhouse would have been from the late 1800s to no later than 1930 or so. We've tried to keep the items to that date. And really the community has given us their treasures. Everything in the house has been donated. We have not purchased anything. People have chosen to let their treasures be viewed.
And treasures go back as far as what dates are you looking for?
As early as we have 1880s, 1850s, some of the things. So we don't really know. Some places they don't really know what date they are, but they're old. And we have not, or I have not at least, researched a lot of them. I just have not had time to find out their exact date that they would have been used.
And there's some unusual items in there. Okay, kids today probably don't even know what an iron is.
No, they don't.
And then you have several different ones in there that go back that many years.
A long way.
Awesome. And then the sewing machine. I mean, people
Yes.
don't even sew today. And that was how old?
It was a wedding gift to a couple in 1915, and it still works. You can still sew on it.
Very good. Then what else did I see? The piano.
The piano, well, it's not a piano, it's a melodeon.
Okay.
It does not have a harp like a piano does. It has a bellows, and you have to pump it. So it looks like a small piano, however, it is called a melodeon. Those were popular in about the 1880s or so. Everybody had to have a melodeon. Every home had to have a melodeon. We also have a pump organ that has been restored, and it works. So it's been donated. So, like I said, people have given us their treasures. Furniture, clothing, items that were used on farms and in homes.
And you said the one bed was made by?
John Fries, who was one of the first settlers in Brunswick. He built furniture, had a farm up on Center Road. He had built furniture also, and that bed is made of probably poplar, about 1850. And he was also a Medina County official when the county was first organized, and I don't remember whether he was auditor or treasurer or
Some county official.
And I'd have to go back and look it up to find out for sure.
And then I borrowed this boot. I can't even put my foot in it.
It was worn by a school teacher in Brunswick in 1900. Her name was Calla Gibbs, and you had one-room school. And generally, well, it was the rule that a woman could not teach school after she was married. So as long as you were single, you could teach school. But once you got married, you had to quit teaching school. Men could teach and be married, but women could not.
That's interesting. It's not like that today.
So Calla really wore that shoe.
Wow.
And most of the fourth graders or so, third or fourth graders that I do programs for, they look at it and say, I couldn't even get my foot in that.
Really? It's so small, it's so tiny. So tiny. And then the dress, the boot goes with the dress that's in there that was handmade. No no machine.
No, all made by hand, and it's about Civil War time, about 1860.
That's just amazing. Hopefully you guys will get the home up and running, and tours will start once again.
We hope to.
I mean, because the history that is in that house is phenomenal. And then you said the typewriter?
Typewriter. Children who come, first graders, we had a group of first graders here, and they were intrigued by the typewriter. Could not figure out what it was. The rest of the things, you know, they listened, but found them all gathered around the typewriter. They kept asking, what is this? So I explained to them, you have a keyboard? And they said, yes. And I said, look at the keyboard on this and think about what your keyboard is like at home. Oh, it's the same. And only you just don't, this doesn't have any electricity, you have to hit it a little harder.
Yeah, and you hear the banging of the keys. Yeah, I mean, look at technology today, and then for the kid, a little kid to see that typewriter, they're probably thinking, really?
Yes.
It's just phenomenal.
It's funny, it's intriguing, heartwarming really, makes your work all worthwhile.
Oh,
to
definitely.
have the children come and enjoy and ask questions. and to, I've just done recently, before school was out, I did programs for children at Memorial and also for Huntington schools. And they all wanted to know, can the farm be saved? Because most of them had been here. Mm-hmm. And can it be saved? And I generally tell them, it can if enough people care. And I can't do it all by myself, and neither could you do it all by yourself. However, if I put my effort with yours and somebody else's, we can do it if we care enough.
Mm-hmm. And every little effort
helps.
Grows.
Yes, it grows.
And word of mouth is just amazing. Mm-hmm. And it's for a good cause.
People have been reading the articles that have been in papers and on cable about the farm, and are concerned that it will be lost. And what are you going to do with all the things that you've collected? I don't know. Yeah, that's a problem, and hopefully we won't have to. It won't go that far.
Hopefully it'll all work out. Mm-hmm. It'll be refurbished, and you'll start touring again, mm-hmm. and people can come and view. Mm-hmm. History.
Yes.
And I know you guys have been out there, your board, your committee, trying to do fundraisers.
Yes, we have.
I know you did a garage sale mm-hmm. A couple weeks ago on Pearl Road. Mm-hmm. I saw all the tents set up and people. You didn't have as many people as you wanted, but it's an effort. You guys are out there trying to.
It's a start.
Right.
It's a start.
And then what just happened at Old Fashioned Days?
Had a pie in the face auction. Instead of just setting a price on it, we auctioned. You know, the opportunity to put a pie in the face of some city official or someone who you had maybe like Sam Boyer said, maybe she had written something about you in an article that you didn't like, and here's your opportunity to put a pie in her face. So.
So did that work out well then?
Yes, it did. And I don't remember how much was raised, but every dollar goes to help to save the farm.
It all adds up, and for a great cause.
Yes, it does.
Well, that's wonderful. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and see what else is happening at the farm.
Grandpa, look what I got. Let me see.
Oh, Dad, wait till you see the bike we got for Jake.
Hearing loss happens gradually with age, making it easy to ignore. Yet most older Americans aren't getting their hearing tested. Untreated hearing loss can keep your loved ones from enjoying what they cherish most.
Dad, can you hear me?
Don't let that happen. Speak up about hearing loss. You'll be glad you did.
Some risks are obviously not worth taking. Some aren't as obvious, but could be just as deadly, like the risk for type 2 diabetes. Take the diabetes risk test and stop diabetes before it stops you.
Welcome back. I am Lori with Golden Years, and I am interviewing Mamie, and we are at the Brunswick Area Historical Society. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous day out here. We might have to stay here all afternoon.
Oh, I would like to.
Okay. Maybe we'll order in lunch. We'll send Ben to go get it.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
It's a date. Okay, Mamie, you said that back in July you had some type of event. So how did that go over?
For several years now, we've had, in July, each July, we've had World War II reenactment. And we have people who are dressed as soldiers from all countries of the World War II. And they have reenact battles here. And we have a lot of events, a lot of activities for children. There's music, there's food, there is no admission charge, and people just come and enjoy. And if you have something to share from World War II, people bring that too. So,
do they come from all over?
Yes, they come from all over. It has not been near as big an event as our Fall Foliage Tour event has been.
And that's happening in
the second weekend in October.
October, okay.
Is always the Fall Foliage Tour for Medina County. And it moves to different areas of the county, features different areas of the county. This year it is the northeast quadrant of the county, and from Valley City to Hinckley, and I don't remember how far south it goes, will be on the Fall Foliage Tour. And Brunswick is one of the stops. And there will be the Ramrod Busters are going to be here then. That is people from the early 1800s. They camp and they dress and they cook as those people did.
Oh, wow.
They cook over open fires and that sort of thing. So
very good.
It's always an interesting thing. And again, there's always music and activities for children, and a chance to hopefully we'll have the house open by that time, and they can be able to tour the house. It's the outside of the house that needs tender loving care. The inside, it has one roof leak that has damaged the ceiling in the dining room, but it's mainly the outside that needs to be taken care of.
Are you allowed to have any volunteers help?
I'm not sure at this time exactly what volunteers, but we have had offers from businesses to supply paints and building materials.
Wonderful.
Some people who want to volunteer, and hopefully we can, they will be able to paint in that. I don't know.
So if a company has an employee day, do a job in the city, that might be a plus for you.
It could be. Some people bemoan the fact that Brunswick has no grand Victorian buildings or that, but Brunswick was not that type of a community. We didn't have any railroad. We don't have a scenic river running through it. We don't have a courthouse, any of those type of things. It was simply a farming community. And that's what it remained up until all the development started after World War II. And when in the 50s, when they started building all the houses. And so we were a farming community. And this is a grand example of what life was like in Brunswick up until that time.
And it's a nice situation. Okay, a lot of people call it a bedroom community because you leave every day and go to your jobs, your careers, and then you come back and it's nice. It's hometown.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
We have a lot of mom and pop businesses.
Small businesses.
Which are great for the city.
Yes.
And you don't want those people to go away. I know because a lot of people say, okay, Brunswick is in the middle of Medina and Strongsville, but not everybody likes the big places.
Right, right. And Brunswick has been, I've watched it grow up.
I bet.
Moved here in 1958, and so my son was on half-day school sessions. That's how busy, how overcrowded the schools were. So I've watched the schools go from a couple of buildings to, I don't know how many buildings they have now, but I think there's 11 schools now or something like that.
I think it's around there.
So I've watched the community grow up. When I first moved in, you had to go to someplace else to buy your groceries because there was nothing but a small Zimmerman's general store.
And where was that?
At the intersection of 42 and 303, right by the Methodist Church. They took the building down when they widened Center Road.
Okay.
So that there was like someone said, you know, you had to go to Valley City or Medina to get your hair cut. Men had to go that far to get their hair cut. There was no barber in Brunswick at first, so.
Wow. Yeah, so
Yeah,
you got some history. And how long have you been with the society?
Really, I joined years before, but I really was not very involved until 1994 was when I first joined. I took over as president of the Historical Society. We had no place to collect anything, not a building, and the city was trying to find a place, a permanent home for the Historical Society, and they were looking for houses. They sent letters, made calls, contacted owners of older buildings in Brunswick, and no one was willing to give them up. They wanted to keep them. Until this came on the market. Mary died in December of 1994. They had no family in the area. They had a nephew who was their executor of their estate, and none of the family wanted to live here, so they put it on the market. And the city at first was only going to buy 4 acres, which is the farmstead, the houses and all the farm buildings, and for the Historical Society. Then they decided that Brunswick has no park in this quadrant of the city, has no city park. So in order to have a city park in this area, they bought the entire farm, which is 32.5 acres. And a master plan had been made, and all the city needs is about $5 or $6 million, and they'll start work tomorrow. So.
Wow.
But unfortunately, none of us have that deep of pockets.
Oh, I don't know. It might be in someone's under their mattress somewhere.
You never know.
You never know.
Since then, the city has put in community gardens, and they plow it, rent out a plot, and I don't remember, I forgot now how the size of the plot, but they plow it each spring and mark it off for you, and you rent and provide water for it. You maintain your own little plot, and some of them get a lot of produce out of it. Others don't take care of them very well, and they don't get very much. But unfortunately, deer are, you're competing with the critters.
Yeah.
You have to remember this is a farm. And there's deer and woodchucks and fox and I don't know what all around here. So.
Wow. How many plots are out there then?
I think there's about 30 or so. I don't remember how many there are this year, but you sign up with at the rec center and for the Parks Department, and if you can put your name on a list. And if they have too many, you might be on a waiting list. I don't know exactly. Some people rent them and never do anything with them. Others have beautiful gardens out there. And when people come to visit the farm, they always say, "What have you got out here?" Well, when you explain to them that they are plots that people can rent, and you take all the produce out of it. So.
What a neat idea. I mean, you have your own little plot, and you can come and harvest whatever you want to, and have it a family thing, watch it grow, and then take it home.
Right.
Wonderful.
A lot of them, some of them, I shouldn't say a lot, but some of them have told me that they donate the produce to food pantries in the area. So.
Okay. And maybe farmers market. The farmers market the seniors love. I mean, it's a chance for them to get out, go buy their produce, have it fresh. Wow, that's wonderful. Well, Mamie, thank you so much for being on Golden Years.
Oh, you're welcome.
You have a wealth of information.
Well, I've kind of been here from the beginning of the project, and
you spoke from your heart.
Yes.
So you could tell you really, really love the farm.
I do, because it's our heritage, and if we don't save it, it'll be gone, and then we'll say, why didn't we? I don't want that to happen. I don't want it to disappear, and then we'll say, if we had have only.
So the Historical Society needs your support. If you have any questions, any valuable treasures that you might want to pass on to the farm, please call Mamie at
330-225-5655. 3489.
And just share with her what you might want to do. You might want to volunteer some time.
Right.
Donations, monetary donations. Let's save the farm.
We're always looking for volunteers. Events, if you would like to work at an event, there's always a job for you, whether it's just greeting people.
Oh, that's always welcome.
And just to tell them a little bit about the farm, and we'll try to have information on cards for you to, so that if you don't know what a building is or what it was used for, or the items that are in the building, because all the buildings have antiques in them. They're all, from a tractor to a maple syrup collection barrel. So
this is really a treasure. And here in Brunswick.
yes, it is.
So hopefully you're going to get up, back and running.
We hope.
You had a good event in July, so hopefully the fall foliage, you'll get a lot of people through here.
Right. And they come from Cleveland, from Akron, from all over. Sometimes they're from out of state even, who come to view the farms. And there's still quite a few farms left in Medina County, so it's still an agricultural county.
Little, but it's still.
Yeah, it's disappearing, but
Yeah. Well, because as people pass on, you know, families are also different
Right.
now. So thank you so much for being on
oh,
the
you're
show.
welcome. Glad to be here.
Thank you. And we will see you next month. Join us for Golden Years, and have a good month.
Want to help? Make it easy on everyone. Send cash, the most effective form of disaster relief. CIDI.org.
View this and other great BAT programs by visiting bat.pegcentral.com. Brunswick Area Television's on-demand service, streaming on the internet 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
In the year 2000, Brunswick's history found a home at 4613 Laurel Road, now known to our community as Heritage Farm. Its mission is to preserve our past and showcase it for generations to come. Our volunteers have worked for decades collecting and archiving Brunswick's transition from a farming community to a bustling city. But over the years, nature takes its toll on historical artifacts and the places that hold them dear. We need your help to keep the memories safe. Becoming a member of the Brunswick Area Historical Society will help generate the funds necessary to keep the farm and the memories alive. Individual memberships start at just $15. Corporate giving starts at $100. And of course, your volunteer service at Heritage Farm is priceless. Join the drive to save our history. For membership information, visit us on the web at www.brunswickhistory.com.
My precious children of the night are watching the bat. I did that in one take! One take! Ah, ah, ah!